Well, we're back down on the Thames. Tide's going out, so we've got a couple of hours down here, but it's taken us a long time to get down here. Cancelled trains. I don't know who's been more underground, me and Mary, Jammer them all. But we'll get down on there and see if there's anything. Well, Mary's gone down there, and there are a few bits on here already. A bit of stone, a little old pot there. I think that might be a bit of roof tile going off the hole in it. Pegged roof tile. And there's a bit of a pot there. Well, there's a lot of foreshore here and the tide's still going out, and I thought that was another peg one, but it's just one with a bit of holding, well, it goes through, but not that very far. No, if you want to mudlark on the Thames, you have to have a permit from the Port of London Authority, which I have. So that's all well and good. So let's see if we can find out. Well, there's a lot of gravel and a bit of pipe stem there, but I'm leaving pipe stems down here unless they have markings on them or I find a ball. So, I just spotted that. Nice plug lure, fishing one. At least the hooks are off it, but it's plastic, so we'll get that out. Well, another bit of pipe stem there, and another little bit there. Just plain, but I'm going to leave them. And a few bits there. Well, a couple of bits there. Oh, and that's willow, and there's always some willow. I'm going off the thickness and the type of glaze. I think that's quite a modern reproduction, but you never know. No, just plain. Well, there's a bit there, and there's a bigger bit than what I thought. That could be Westerwold. Base of a big Westerwold pot. No markers on the bottom. But since we're not finding all that much, I might take that. Well, there's a big metal patch here. Lots and lots of rivets. Probably where they were breaking some ships up or something, the barges. Some of them it's threaded there, but no copper nails that I can see, but lots and lots of metal work. Well, that's one big spike. There's that one. I'm not sure whether that is a bit of a knife blade. You can use it as a chisel going off the end of that there. So it could be part of a caulking tool for putting the bits between the boards on a boat to waterproof it. Well, if you can hear me over the plane up, oh, where has it gone? It's up there. There's two very big chunks of timber there, look like ribs off a very old sailing ship, it looks of it. Big curvature of them both. Probably been parked here to rest barges on in times gone by. Well, there's a bit of plain white pottery there. Just with a bit of embossing on. Leave that to the river gods.
That's not what it is.
I just picked up this. I don't know if it's part of a nodule or just a bit of worn concrete. Ah, a nice bit of colour. Oh well, starting to find little bits. Well, apart from that metal patch and a few other little bits, that's all we got on there. So we'll go and have a look right over that old foreshore because it goes a long way. Well, coming back, and I spotted a little bit of blue. Oh, probably a wash basin or a goes under. But nice bit, a little bit of transfer. Oh. Well, a bit of a handle with summit on. That's nice, is that? Well, a bit of pipe stem being uncovered there with the wave from the bloody boat. Well, I just picked that bit up. I thought it was part of an insulator or something, but it's just a stone. As far as I can tell, unless it's a bit of cut stone. But we'll leave that. Lots of plain pieces like that I haven't been filming, so that's why there's not much filming being done at the moment. Well, now that looks like a piece of coral. Probably after some ship's ballast. From sunnier climes. Well, plain, and plain. Well, I've just walked all the way along the shore edge there, and a few bits of plain, but nothing to write home about. A big bit of plain handle, a jug or something. Just plain. Oh, and I've just spotted one tiny bit. Can you spot it? That looks to be a bit of willow. And there's always some willow, even down here. So, another big iron patch. Lots of nails and rivets and such like. Washers. Big screw there. Yeah, goes all the way up there. That's where Mary's just walked past. Well, that's one of the wave makers going past, and there'll be some big ones coming in a minute. You can see them forming out there already. Well, there's a bit of blue transfer there. I've got to get it before big waves come in. Look. Oh, that would have gone. That's some trees. some on the other side as well. Oh well, that would have gone wave that just come in then. And another tiny little bit of blue. Some little blue leaves. Oh, that's a nice piece. Hand painted. Probably sponged on like that, but that's all definitely hand painted there. Well, I wondered how long it'd be before I found one of these down here. Peach ice. Well, we'll get that out at the river. And look away if you don't like them. A couple of big chunks of bone. Look at the waves that thing makes. Yeah. And they say it's mudlarkers that's wearing away the foreshore. Not a chance. That's my rant over for today. Well, for this one. And more plastic. Some of these bubbles, air bubble. Well, we'll get that out at river. Well, apart from all the pipe stems, that's the first bit of pipe ball we've found down here today. And there's not much of that. What do you say, pigeon? Are you having better luck than us? Well, like I say, always walk back along your path. Because that definitely looks like tin glazed. And I always like finding bits like this. More so than the plain white bits, but something with a bit of colour on. Oh, that's a long pipe stem. And I've got a load of long ones at home that somebody gave, that Sarah from Manchester Mudlarks gave us some time ago. I've got to get round to making a wind chime out of. But that can stop here. And that looks like another bit. That looks like a foam battery. Yeah, that's a foam battery. Well, we'll get that out at river. Now, I think that's modern. Yeah, with that embossing on there, I think that's quite a modern one. Definitely look away if you don't like them. That's so much jawbone here. Probably a pig. Don't think it's human. Well, a bit of a very rusty and broken shackle. It's still got the eye pin in as well. That looks like it's been gas axed. Well, a lot more bits of iron there, but there's a bit of printed pottery here. Ooh, both sides. And oh, that's a bit more tin glazed. Can't really tell. It looks tin glazed, but it looks like it might be transfer print on it, but don't know. Well, another metal patch. If you're into scraping through metal patches, this will be the place for you. But the thing is, if I sat down to do that, They have to get a crane down here to get me back up again with my back. Oh, I nearly stood on that. Eee, chimney. Bit of the rest of the house is up there with it. Half expect Dick Van Dyke to come popping out of that. Well, picked up that, I think, a bit of flint. There's all through it, a bit of a hagstone then. And one big eyelet. A hawser cable there. That goes all the way to there. And a big chunk of chain. Well, another big pile of nuts and bolts and rivets, heads and all sorts just washed up against the wall side there. They must have been breaking a lot of boats here. That looks like a section of one there. Big steel plate. Oh, chunk of something there. Probably a ginger beer bottle or an ink bottle. Mary's had enough for now. She's gone for a sit down. There's these black lines, like tide marks, big patches. I thought it might be coal, but I think it's actually charcoal. It must be coal. Let's have a look. I think that's coal. Yeah, that's bits of sea coal. Probably come out at boats that they've been breaking up down here. Well, lots of bits of pots that people have just put here. I don't know if some of it's roof tile or not. Could be Roman, could be medieval, could be Victorian. But I'm not very up on that. No, another bit of plastic. Another lighter. We'll get that out at River. Oh, a bit of green stripy stuff there, but that can stop. Oh, another little hagstone. And another bit of plastic. Another lighter. Oh, another bit of tin glaze, bit looks of it. And two of them mad things. Now, that's a bit of tile. Bit square peg hole. There's no footprints on it. Just all the spalling on the other side, but I might just take that bit. No pan tile. Well, we did find a few little bits and pieces today. Not as much as what I hoped to have found, but still some nice pieces. So we might be down somewhere else tomorrow. Might even go back over there to Prospect of Whitby. Right, the finds from the first of 3 trips down to the Thames. Now let's get rid of the rubbish. Somebody's hair bubble. Bit of plastic on there. And another vape. We've got the battery out of it. And a couple of lighters. Swan one. And a phone battery. So that's more of that rubbish out of the Thames. And we got a fish. There were no hooks on this, which is surprising because they're usually stainless, but yeah, another bit of plastic out of the river. But I might save that. Yeah. Right, now on to the finds. And it's a pity there's not more of this. Big chunk of Westerwold, just going off that blue there, but no markings or anything on it, which is a shame really, so I'd like to have had more of that. And a couple of chunks of roof tile, one with square hole, one with part of a round hole in. Medieval, late medieval, maybe even a bit later than that, or even earlier. One never knows. Pity I haven't got one with a footprint on or out like that, handprint or anything. And because there was a lot of metal down there, a lot of rust staining on that. And same again with that. Bit on both sides. Nice printing. It looks a bit Asiatic, but you never tell. That many patterns, very, very similar from different manufacturers. And I don't know whether that's transfer print or sponge wear or just slapped on. And 2 bits of willow. You can tell by the fencing there, and that's a bit of an edging off something. And there's always some willow. That might even be quite modernish. And a bit of a handle. Again, pity there's not more of it. Now I don't know whether that is tin glazed or late tin glazed. Going off the holes in the back, probably is tin glazed, but a later one. Hand painted again, and some early other ones very, very worn. But I do like the bits like this, especially bits like that. And some printed bits. One with trees on one side. I don't know whether that's willow or not, because it might be the base of the boat, but I don't know. But yeah, that's a nice bit. A bit of faded blue there. Bit of a cup, I should think, going off the inside. And a bit of a chimney. No Dick Van Dyke coming out the top of that. Pity there's not more. and a bit of what I call as Nottingham Derby wear. Roller on design. Does look older, but mid to late 1800s, well early 1900s as well, I should think. Storage pots and such like. And I think this is a bit of coral. Probably brought in as ballast on some ship many years ago. And it's been tumbled around the river for a bit. And a couple of flint nodule hagstones. I just picked them up because they got holes through. There we are. I'll just see through that one. And this thing. I don't know whether it's a fossil or geode or something, but it's a weird design on that. Could be something that's been knocked off a boat that have been breaking up, because there looks like they've been breaking up lots of boats down there. Which we get onto this lot. There were lots and lots of metal patches. I was hoping to find some copper nails, but I didn't do. But yeah, there were lots of rivets and nails and such like, but no copper bits, unless they've been picked over. And one very big nail there, spike or nail, whichever you want to call it, well hammered on the end. I haven't done much with these yet. I need to look into how to do it. And this, I don't know if it's a knife, and that's the handle part, but it's quite thick there, and that end's knocked over a little bit, so whether it's been used as a chisel or a scraper, it might be more bladed there. And I don't know whether that, because it was fact we all shipbuilding stuff, well, ship dismantling stuff should I say, I don't know whether that's part of an old caulking tool where they knock the bits in between the planks to waterproof and seal the boards. And that's why it would have a bit knocked on top like that, and maybe come down there a bit more. But it might just be a random bit of metal. You never know. And we're not having the crafting license. I'm going to probably do some more crafting, but not crafting with some of these bits, as I've managed to pick up some bigger ones with the floating frames instead of the little ones, so I can get more bits in. So there'll be some being mounted in one of them, or maybe a couple of them, and there might be some other crafting bits that I'll finish off. So you'll have to keep watching to find out what happens. Right, well I got some new ones of these. They're bigger. They're 11 centimetres square. So for my crafting, but not crafting for the stuff on the Thames on this trip, let's see what we can put in. Put that in for a laugh. And a bit of coral. And this stripy bit, which is not Roman. And this bit to make a bit of double-sided. and a stand. Oh, get the light, stop the light reflecting off it. Right. Yeah, that makes a nice one. Well, it's goodbye from me, Mary and the ducks.